Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Data Odyssey. I know I've not put up videos since past 3-4 months and it's been a long time. I've been a little bit unwell and also involved in a lot of work related to my office, right? That's why I've not been putting up videos, but right now I'm back with bang, and as I promised to people that I would be starting with the AI engineering series for data engineers. That's what I'm planning this year, and we'll create a playlist which would be one of the best out there in the market, or available on YouTube, right? So prior to like what's my main aim over right now is that we need to understand that what kind of job role is evolving out there in the market after so much of hype of AI. Okay, so recently I saw that we have job opening. I think I saw that from TCS, right? We have a job opening for AI data engineer. Okay, now these AI data engineers are actually expected to create AI workflows, and it's very interesting, right? Because already data engineers were fearing the AI workflows, but then what does AI and data engineer do differently? Okay, so the tech stack is actually very much evolving. Okay, and we need to know this entire AI to understand how can we keep ourselves like relevant within the market, correct? And that's what the focus of this entire playlist is. It's not only job focused, but it's also knowledge focused, right? We'll be knowing or understanding to build applications which would be beneficial for production use cases, okay, for our clients. All right, so let's not waste time and get started now. All of us know, right? AI is the biggest hype. Okay, it's the biggest hype, and it's no longer a hype. It's actually turning into a reality. And why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because companies are pouring in billions of dollars, and companies like OpenAI, right? We have companies like Google, and these are the bigger players that I'm talking about. We have company like Anthropic, correct? And they are pouring in billions of dollars. And what their main aim is, the main aim is basically to create something called as AGI. Okay, and it's called as artificial general intelligence. All right, and they are actually wanting or planning to build something which is capable to which is on similar lines with HDI, and that's why they're pouring in billions of dollars. Recently I just saw news that the Indian government has actually put in 3,000 crores to build a tax platform of their own. They already have it, but then they want an AI powered tax platform. So using this AI powered tax platform, they are actually planning to like integrate AI into the existing systems, and they I think have given this deal to LTI Mindtree. So just think, right? The Indian government is spending so much amount so that AI based systems evolve, so that AI based user experience evolves, right? And it's not just that. I think yesterday, for people out there in India, our I think our IT minister and railway minister Ashwini Vaishnav, right? He actually said that India has 60,000 plus GPUs. I think 60,000 or 50,000. I don't remember, deployed, and it's accessible across the in at individual level and for the private players in even, and that also at half the cost at what the global players are actually giving, like Microsoft, like Amazon. So it's very amazing, right? The government is investing so much amount of money so that we can build something of our own. All right, and this is the time that we should put ourselves into this field. Okay, so right now if you look at private companies, they are also putting in a lot of money. All right, for example, like think of the apps that we use on daily to daily basis. We use YouTube, right? We use Facebook, correct? And also another Facebook owned company, basically another Meta owned company, which is Instagram, correct? So we do use, and they have already integrated AI. Obviously we see videos which are AI made, correct? From these are the global companies that we know of, and they have already integrated AI into the system. But then we also have certain Indian companies, and let me like we all know about Swiggy, correct? Swiggy is a food delivery app that we have there in India. People from India will be knowing very much about it. So Swiggy is a food delivery app, and they have used AI, but in what way they have used AI and integrated? So what these companies are actually aiming for right now within India, what I've seen, the actual trend is integrating AI into existing workflows. Okay, now, I don't know whether this is a mistake or this is good for the business or for the entire AI industry. Like it's good for the bigger players out there, but then how good or beneficial it's for the players who want to actually integrate AI and not create AI. That's also another thing, but that's what the aim of the bigger companies out there is. They want people to use AI. Okay, so how has Swiggy integrated AI into its existing workflow? Let me show you. So I have the website of Swiggy open, and let me type something very much like I have something in my mind to eat, but then I don't know what is that dish that I want to eat. So I write light and sweet. Okay, that's what I want to eat. Now let's see what Swiggy gives up. If you look at a way, like initially it has given certain dishes, but then let us wait 1 second. So light and sweet, right? And let me just go to all legends for light and sweet. All right. And what do you see over here? You see, like it has given a list of dishes which are actually light but then sweet even. So 16 gravity dry fruit sweet box. It's healthy, right? It's light, it would be light. And then sweet. We have sweet lassi, we have light chocolate, and then we have sweet corn pizza, which is also actually light, right? It's 79. That means it's a small sized pizza, right? So it's kind of recommending certain things based on the basis of what you write over there, and it becomes interesting, correct? That it's improving the UI experience altogether. It improving the user experience altogether. So user experience is improving once we start integrating them into our existing workflows, and that's what the companies are aiming for, correct? So or for think of an app like we all know about Duolingo. For people who don't know out there, it's a basic language learning app. And Duolingo, suppose you want to learn Spanish, right? And then what you do is you want to learn Spanish in a like a human tutor is sitting in front of you. You want to learn Spanish like that. Just think of that. Like I don't know like what how is Duolingo evolved over time right now, but just think of the scenario where you are talking to the app in Spanish. You are wanting to learn something, and that from that app, a machine voice comes up and says that you no, this is not the way you should say this, but this is the way you should say it. Like it's a very near real human tutor experience, right? And this is where the real revenue is. Okay, so what my aim is not just to teach you theory, but actually put up the ROI that we should have in place so that AI is beneficial, because AI is costly. Okay, AI is costly, and we need to have the perfect ROI plan in place to make it more accessible and more feasible for all companies out there, correct? So it's not that we should integrate AI into everything, but rather we should have our use cases defined and the way or amount of money that needs to be involved to integrate this AI, because and it's costly because of one thing, and that particular thing is GPUs, which is actually, and the amount of power involved, and the other things, other multiple factors. But then these GPUs are the major things which increases the cost so much. Okay, but then we can utilize these GPUs in a very efficient manner along with CPUs, and this is another optimization part on which I'll be giving up like introducing another playlist. But these GPUs are provided by Nvidia, and Nvidia stock is rising, as all of us know. So yeah, so that's what AI is all about in recent world. So AI is the biggest hype of the century, correct? So before, since we know all about this, but then we need to understand the basics of AI, like how has it evolved over time so that we understand the importance of AI, correct? So if you see on the screen, I have the artificial intelligence, like I have a big circle on which artificial intelligence is written, correct? So artificial intelligence is there, and within that we have the machine learning, right? Now within machine learning, we have further divided into discriminative machine learning and generative machine learning. Now what did machine learning specifically focus upon? Now, to be very precise, machines understand what? Machines understand numbers. They don't understand real text, correct? But then there is something involved behind the scenes, which actually turns this text into numbers so that we get our own desired results. Okay, machine understand numbers and we need to convert those text into numbers so that the particular machine understands and helps us out. Correct. Now that's what machines understand, and that's what machine learning is all about. Okay, so initially, what kind of task did machine learning help us do, and now how has it evolved over time? So it has evolved from discriminative to generative over time, and that's what this entire flow is all about. All right. So initially, we had traditional MLs. Now, what kind of task did traditional ML help us do? It helps us for use cases like fraud detection. Data engineers should be knowing about this, right? It helped us in use cases like product recommendation. It helped us in use cases like churn prediction. So basically, one model helped us go with one job. Okay, so for fraud detection, we have one model. For product recommendation, we have one model. For churn prediction, we have one model. So what, like fraud detection, like whether a transaction is fraudulent or not. Product recommendation, like if a user buys product A, then what should be the next product that the user should buy, and how does it do? So for example, if user one buys product A and then product B, then and user two comes up, maybe of the same gender, then and user two buys product A, then automatically the application would suggest product B to that user, correct? So that's how product recommendation work. And it's a real business use case. And still it's the biggest business use case that we have in the world of AI still now, right? And then churn prediction, like suppose for telecom providers, they want to understand that how much percentage of the users will go with another telecom provider in the upcoming months, and it helps them adjust, like understand that why they are moving out, correct? So these are real life business use cases that traditional ML used to serve. All right. From traditional, so basically what it's doing, it's carrying out the discriminating task, that is classifying like spam not spam, fraud not fraud, product A or product B. Churn prediction, will the individual user will churn or not churn from that particular telecom provider. So these kind of classifying tasks these traditional ML used to perform. Then slowly we moved to model as a service. So this is the most recent scenario around which the entire hype is happening around. Okay, so what we moved from training to building on top. That means we stopped training models from scratch. Rather, generalized models were provided to us and we started building applications on top of it. And what are the companies which are providing model as a service? It's like OpenAI. Okay, it's like GPT. It's like OpenAI provided GPT-3, right? And then it provided GPT-4, and then Anthropic, companies like Anthropic which provide services like models like Claude, correct? So these companies started providing models as a service. Now, what does these models do? These models makes the things much more generalized. Like now, rather than focusing on creating these individual models in place, we have a generalized model which will not only be able to do these tasks but will also be able to generate things, and that's where generative AI comes up. So generative AI is something which means creating new content. So tasks like text generation, tasks like image creation, tasks like code writing, generative AI is able to do all of this. And these services are actually provided by these big players out there in the market. So companies right now, what they want from us is, rather than developing models from scratch, they want us to building applications on top of it in the most efficient manner, which can give us the perfect ROI for our business, right? So in a very first, like if I want to explain this entire flow in a very short form, like previously what we used to do, we used to understand what does, like these models used to help us understand which one is dog and which one is cat. So basically a classification kind of thing. But then generative AI enabled us to do something like this. Suppose we want an image where a cat is wearing a sunglass. The generative AI helped us understand that. So and to be very honest, I generated my thumbnail using, like, not by using generative AI but took ideas from ChatGPT and did all of this, right? We also do use ChatGPT to write emails and whatnot in the recent years. So that's how the world has evolved from traditional email to model as a service, right? And it's our main focus has shifted from building task specific models to building applications on top of this model. So ML engineers were expected to build task specific models, but right now AI engineers are actually expected to build application on top of these models in the most efficient manner. But that doesn't mean the knowledge which the ML engineers had AI engineers need not have it. AI engineers need to have a part of that knowledge, okay, a part of that skill, or I would say most of that skill. So AI engineer is a very broad term or a very broad thing that we have in the market right now. Now let me show you the model hierarchy ladder. Like I've been talking about model. What is model basically? We need to understand that first also, correct? So models are basically the coded version of your intuition. What do I mean by that? Basically, for example, if an individual, like for suppose a friend comes up to your place and that friend says that comes up to your place and it started raining outside, what will you do? Your instant reaction should be, bro, take my umbrella, correct? Or you would say what? You would say, take a cab and go to your home, correct? So that's an intuition from your end. That's an instant reaction that has come up because of the intuition that we have developed over time from our childhood, right? And models are basically that intuition, but in a coded form. Okay, so models are the coded version of intuition, right? But these models can be used for multiple use cases, correct? So we have step two in the model hierarchy ladder, which is basically ML model. These ML models, just as we have seen up, like the traditional ML, machine learning, right? Where machine learn to understand, where machine understand numbers, and we try to convert this text into numbers so that the particular machine understands, and it helps us to classify things. So these ML models actually recognize patterns. Okay. Now, once they start recognize patterns from the older set of data, what they do, they learn to predict something, right? So they learn the patterns and then they predict something. And that's what ML model is all about. Like from simple models, we moved to ML modeling. And using this ML model, we started doing much more complex tasks. And these complex tasks are actually performed by neural networks. So what neural network is all about? Neural network means we need to handle complex data. So what are neural networks in a very simplified manner? If I say they are the complex ML models. And what does neural network actually mean? So if you look over here, we have neural, which means neurons, and network, which means interconnected nodes. And let me show you a simplified diagram of a neural network. So this is a simplified diagram of a neural network. What we do actually, we feed in data, okay, and these are the nodes, and data flows through these nodes, and finally we get an output over here. Now neural networks actually try to mimic whatever we have in our brain. All right, so that's what neural network is all about. It is able to handle complex data, basically data like images, basically data like videos. So it's able to handle all of that, right? So that's what neural network was dealing about. Okay, it is trying to mimic the neurons that we have our brains, because see, what we have in our brain is whenever we feed a certain amount of data to our brain, slowly with time our brain learns it and we develop a understanding about it, and that's what neural network is trying to mimic. Okay, now from neural networks, we move to a world where generative AI came in. So generative AI is a complex neural network actually. All right, we'll understand that what a generative AI consists of. So it deals with tasks like creating new content. So basically that's the motto of generative AI model. But um, like it's much more than that, and we'll understand how is it much more. So what we started doing is, like I showed you, right, what we can do, like a cat wearing a sunglass, or we can generate anything of our own. Okay, we can generate an email of our own. So what has happened, like we moved from a world where we recognized patterns, all right, with time we moved to a world where we started creating patterns. All right, so that's what generative AI is all about. Okay, so this is big picture that I wanted to show you, show all of you about AI. Like it's a big picture about AI that I wanted to show, that so that you understand AI in a very generalized manner, that how has it evolved over time. All right, so AI is all about maths. It's all about representing humans. So humans, so try to understand AI. I would say to all of you that try to understand AI by understanding human nature, and it is the best possible way. For example, I given you this diagram over here, and I will be attaching this entire notebook PDF to the video, right, so that you can see it in form of notes. So look at over here. Suppose we want a child to understand blue, like what is blue, what we do, we start by showing that, see, which we start by helping that child understand that what are blue items. Like we show a blue bird to that child, we show blue water, we show blue pen and whatnot. And slowly the child is able to understand that, okay, this means blue actually, like the blue color, like that color is actually blue. Okay. And then next step in the process, what, so it's the, like that's what happening, right? And then what it understand, like it's able to actually develop an intuition where is it able to understand what are the group of blue objects, like blue jeans, like blueberries and whatnot. Okay, like blue bird. All right. So you are able to recognize the group of blue objects. Okay. And when once you are able to understand, recognize the group of blue object, that child is able to understand the concept of blue. Like what does blue indicate? Does it mean peace? Does it mean revenge and what? Okay. So that child with time developed an intuition or concept about blue. And that's how the world of AI has also evolved. So we have evolved from a place where we had simple models to a place we started recognizing patterns, and slowly to a form where we started creating patterns. So that is how the world of AI has actually evolved. Okay. So this video I wanted to just give a generalized picture and a bird's eye view of what AI is all about. But in the next video again we'll start to understand that what the simple very basics of what is inside an AI and how, like I told you, right, the another basic of AI is maths, basic maths, right? A machine understand numbers. Okay. So for things to work out perfectly, we need to put the numbers in good in good at good place, in good form, and then it will be able to understand a lot of things and give us better output. And that's how AI chat GPT is working and every other big AI model that you see in place. So AI is all about maths. Okay. But we'll not delve very much deep into those maths, but in a very intuitive manner where it's become useful for us to understand some things and how to build that application in a very efficient manner, right? So yeah, this is what, welcome to the world of generative AI, and thank you so much, because this series is going to be exciting. Okay, so thank you so much, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.